Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. A lot of things have been going on in the UFC for UFC 279. As you know, the entire card is mixed around. So that means there's new predictions, there's new picks that I have to make, and this is basically what that video is. Without further ado, we're gonna get started with the top 3 guys only. For those are gonna be my only picks for today. We're gonna start off with something strong. Li Jingliang versus Daniel Rodriguez, D-Rod. The Leech versus D-Rod. This is my prediction for this fight. I haven't seen too much film on both of these fighters. I've seen some of the highlights and they're both really good. Both got some power to their punches, both great wrestlers. But if I were to give the edge to somebody in this fight, I'd probably have to give it to Daniel Rodriguez. He seems like he's more ready for this fight. The Leech, he's a really good fighter. He's a formidable fighter, but he does have some weaknesses, and it did show when he went against Hamza how easy he was, or how easy he looked. I don't know. Daniel Rodriguez looks like he's ready. He looks like he was ready for Kevin Holland. So him going to the Leech, I don't think he's that mad about it. I don't know. I just have a feeling that Daniel Rodriguez is more prepared. Very much looking forward to this fight. My pick, Daniel Rodriguez. Pick number 2, Khamzat Chimaev versus Kevin Holland. At this point, I think almost everyone is calling him Khamzat Chimaev. So who do I think is going to take this one? I'm obviously going to be rooting for Kevin Holland. I was going for Kevin Holland against D-Rod. I was going for Nate Diaz against Khamzat Chimaev. So it only makes sense to choose the guy that I was already going for. I think Kevin Holland's gonna take it. This fight's gonna be an interesting one. They're both really good fighters. Khamzat Chimaev is a great wrestler, so that's one of the only things that I would have to look out for. Kevin Holland needs to look out for those takedowns. He needs to be able to get back up, and I hope they just keep it up on their feet. But I don't know how Hamza's gonna react to that. He might wrestle him, he might dominate him, but I think Kevin Holland might be able to, or I think Kevin Holland will be able to take him out. He said it before, if he moves up to 180, he knows he's gonna whoop some ass. So this is gonna be a very fun fight. I'm going Kevin Holland. I feel like he has enough of what it takes to take out Khamzat Chimaev. I feel like he could probably even finish the job. It might go the distance. He got those 5 rounds instead of the 3 that he asked for. He asked for 5 rounds because he knew that Hamza had never fought in a 5-round fight. He's only been up to 3 against Gilbert Burns. He fought 3 rounds against Gilbert Burns, went the distance, won by split decision. This fight, it could either go 5-round split decisions or Kevin Holland. My guess, Kevin Holland hits him with a punch and knocks out Khamzat Chimaev, because we saw that he can go down. He can be knocked down. It's just up to you to finish the job. Last time he didn't get finished because he got saved by the bell when it was with Gilbert Burns, when he got knocked down with a huge right hook. But hey, I think Kevin Holland can get it done. He saw some of the weaknesses that Khamzat Chimaev has. Hamza has like a very on paper game plan, if I could say. Like, he does the same things over and over again, but it works very efficiently. Hopefully Kevin Holland has seen that game plan. He knows what he's going to go for. He's going to go for that takedown. He's going to set it up and go for the takedown. Go for that same takedown. There's one takedown he always does. I'll put a video of it right now. But there's this one takedown that he always does. I'd say look out for it, because that's what he's going to be looking for this entire fight. Also, be cautious on the feet. He's a very good striker, so one of the things that I would do is just keep that distance, keep those hands moving, keep those kicks, keep kicking the leg, keep keeping that front kick to the knee, that leg calf kick. Oh, I can't even speak. That leg calf kick. Everything that you can do with your kicks, use them. That's going to be a huge advantage to Khamzat Chimaev unless he goes for that takedown. If he goes for that takedown, hit him with a fucking knee in the face. Next up, we're going to the main card. Now for the main event, we have Nate Diaz versus Tony Ferguson. The fight that we didn't know we needed. That's going to be the slogan for the entire UFC event. The fight that we didn't know we needed. That's what they're going to keep saying. That's my thing, at least. But this fight was long overdue. This fight was supposed to happen a long time ago. I'm very excited for this one. Nate Diaz, we've seen him before in the past. We know that he's such a dog. He doesn't back down from fights. We haven't seen anybody finish him in a fight. Tony Ferguson, his last 2 fights, actually both of them, the last 2 fights were both losses. Nate Diaz just lost against Leon Edwards. I'd say technically, if you were like to look at it not from a UFC points standard, Nate Diaz whooped Leon Edwards at the very end. He was done. If they were to let Nate Diaz just keep going at him without a timer, he would have beat the shit out of Leon Edwards. He said it himself. I cruised the entire fight, and at the last round, I almost kicked his ass, you know? And if you see the film, yeah, he did. Tony Ferguson, his last fight was against Michael Chandler. He got knocked out with that front kick, but let's not overlook everything that he was doing previous to that kick. He was doing amazing. Now, he was doing really good against Michael Chandler. He was wrestling him. He was outstriking him. I think he knocked him to the ground at least once in the first round. It's just that second round, he came in with that kick straight down the middle just because he saw that there was an opening there. So it's like he's going to take advantage of it. He hit it. It was a good kick. But let's not take that away from Michael Chandler. But again, let's not take away the performance that Tony Ferguson was putting on before that kick even happened. So we both know they're good fighters. They're both Ultimate Fighter Championships. I want to say Nate Diaz was season 5 and Tony Ferguson was either season 10 or 13 or 12, one of those three. But he was more later on. It was Nate Diaz first and then Tony Ferguson. Both lightweight Ultimate Fighter Championships, or champions. Now they're moving on to welterweight, where they've both been really good for these past few years. Actually, no, Tony Ferguson hasn't fought in welterweight. He's been fighting in lightweight for the past few years. He's back at welterweight at 171 pounds. He said it feels like home. So we're gonna see exactly how much of at home it feels like to him. Sorry if I'm looking at my screen a lot. My screen is right there. I'm looking at both the fighters, just making some predictions. It makes my mind focus, so I'm sorry that I'm not looking at the camera as much, but I'll try to do my best to do that from now on. So Nate Diaz and Tony Ferguson, they've been supposing to fight. Like everybody has been asking for the fight, and this fight honestly made more sense than Nate Diaz versus Khamzat Chimaev. Tony Ferguson and Nate Diaz, they're both around 37 years old. They're both around the same height, 6 foot and 5'11", both the same weight, both same reach. It's like they've been made perfectly to fight each other. And I don't know why it was so long overdue, but they're finally putting them together. I feel like this is such a formidable matchup. It makes sense to me. It should make sense to everybody else. I feel like you guys should be more excited over this fight rather than Nate Diaz versus Khamzat Chimaev. I feel like this fight is going to be way more entertaining. It's going to showcase a lot more skill. And yeah, I feel like this was going to be the most fun fight of the night. Tony Ferguson, he even said, I don't care, I'm just ready to go. This is going to be a fun night, and I believe him. It's going to be a really fun night. Now, keys to success on this one that I don't even know. Nate Diaz and Tony Ferguson, they're very equal. I think that Tony Ferguson just has to stay super crafty. He has to be rolling. He has to be throwing some punches and kicks that you just wouldn't realize that they were coming. Nate Diaz, what I would do with him, because when it comes to jiu-jitsu, they're both great at jiu-jitsu. They're both jiu-jitsu black belts. They've both been doing it for such a long time. When it comes to the floor, I don't know who takes it. They're very much equally balanced. Now, when it comes to striking, I don't know, they're both great boxers. This is a really tough fight to call. I don't know who's going to take this one. But if I was to just choose a fighter on who I'm going for, I'm going Nate Diaz just because it's my fan favorite. I'm a huge fan of Tony Ferguson, so it is a shame that I'm going to see one of these fighters take a loss today. But Nate Diaz said he's going to keep fighting after this fight. He didn't expect to actually stop fighting. He just wanted to see how much, my personal opinion, he wanted to see how much he can get away with here in the UFC, and he saw he can do a lot. He has a lot of power in the UFC. He basically can do any power play that he wants. So after this, I feel if Nate Diaz keeps fighting, he will go on to fight much bigger opponents. I'm talking bigger names, bigger fights, bigger everything. You know, like it's just going to be a much better performance with Nate Diaz later on. Tony Ferguson, same thing. I feel like he does have another shot at that belt, at that welterweight belt. So we'll see how that goes with this fight. A lot of future potential out of these two fighters. Even though they're already on their way out, they still want to keep fighting. They're both martial artists. This is what they do. This is what they live for. And you've seen in animes, the older you get, you're just magically more ripped, magically more strong. You know, those anime characters with the long beards, Master Roshi, man, freaking 400 years old or something, he's still super powerful. My picks, just to sum everything up, I'm going Daniel Rodriguez for the third fight against the Leech. But that's going to be a very close one. It's going to be very interesting. I think Daniel Rodriguez either takes it by knockout in the second or by split decision at the very end, or unanimous decision at the very end. For the second fight, out of Khamzat Chimaev versus Kevin Holland, I'm gonna have to go with Kevin Holland just because right now I'm not in good accordance with Khamzat Chimaev. We're not focusing on him right now. And what he did in this fight was not supposed to be done. More on that, I'll make a video on that right after this video. I'm about to go shoot over there, back there. So yeah, I'll talk about that more in a bit. If you guys are interested, make sure to like and subscribe, and you guys can go watch that video right after this one. Kevin Holland's gonna take it. I feel like he can outstrike him. He's very clever from his back. We saw that fight against, I forgot his name, but we saw that knockout. I'll put it in right now. We saw that knockout that he did. I feel like he's very crafty. He can pull stuff out that you won't see coming. I feel like he's kung fu fighting. You won't see anything coming. He's calling himself the modern day Cowboy Cerrone, and I believe him. This guy's stepping in to fight any fight that he wants. I think he's fought like 3 times this year. He has that 23-7 in the UFC already. Khamzat Chimaev with 11-0, but what, like 6 fights, maybe 3 fights in the UFC? I don't know. Kevin Holland just had so much more experience. I think he's gonna be able to take it against Khamzat Chimaev. And for the last and main event, Nate Diaz versus Tony Ferguson. Even though, again, how I said it's gonna be very sad for one of them to take a loss today, but hey, it's got to be done. And if someone's gonna take that W, it's gonna be Nate Diaz. I'm rooting for you. Hopefully you take that dub. I want to see you guys perform your guys' ass off. Win or lose, this is gonna be great fights for everybody in this event. Hope you guys are just as excited as I am. September 10th, that is today, UFC 279, Nate Diaz versus Tony Ferguson. You're not gonna want to miss it. It's gonna be great fights all night long. Comment down below, who do you guys think is gonna be taking the fights today? Are your picks exact same as mine? Are they different? Let me know. Comment them down below. I want to see everybody's minds and thoughts down in the comments. That brings us to the end of this video. If you guys happen to enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe. Turn on your post notifications bell. I'm really excited for tonight. I don't know what to expect from anybody there. So these predictions are not as clear. They're not set in stone. They can't be. How can they possibly be? All I know is that it's gonna be an action-packed night. You guys are in for a treat.